Good day everyone, how are you doing? This is Yix here at Man Crypto, back again with another video. In this video, I'm going to make the case for Polkadot to get to $100. Let's run the intro and get straight into it. Before we get started, if you haven't already done so, subscribe to the channel, like this video, smash that like button. I would very much appreciate that. That would help me a lot. Also, if you want to get started in crypto and you want to learn the fundamentals, got a free course, the link for that is in the description. And also, if you want to join the private Telegram group where I post more regular charts, technical analysis, link for that is in the description as well. Without the way, let's get started. So, before I begin and lay down the foundation, I do want to stress that I'm making the case for the possibility that this will happen. Does that mean that it's going to happen? Who knows? You know, there's a chance that it could happen, but this is more of a stretching into the realms of, you know, unlike if everything goes to plan, then that could happen. But would I wait for it to get to $100 and for myself to take profit from my Polkadot holdings? No, I will not wait until $100. I will probably wait until $50 as mentioned in the previous video. But this is me making the case for Polkadot, you know, having the ability to get to $100. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. So what we're going to do is compare Polkadot with Ethereum back in 2017. Because they are very similar projects, and even the founder is the co-founder of Ethereum. So we can use Ethereum as a direct case study to look at Polkadot and if it's got the potential to reach $100. So Ethereum's market cap, right, which is very similar to today, was $140 billion, and that was the 13th of January 2018 at its peak, and this equaled a price of 1,448. Now, one thing to note is this all happened in a space of about 2 months. So even 1 month, you could say. In early December or late November, the price was $448. And the market cap was $44 billion. So it gained about $100 billion in market cap valuation in the space of a month. So do bear that in mind in that massive blow up top at the end. So let's look at Polkadot. Right now we have a market cap of 16 billion. And previously it was at 17 billion when we got to about $20. Now that's obviously so Ethereum got to 140 billion to get to a price of, you know, 1,400. But we're talking about Polkadot at $100. What market cap does it need to be to get to $100? And it's quite simple to work that out. I mean, simply you could just multiply everything by about 6. That would get us to about $96. So, you know, round down to 6. And thus you could round the market cap to 6, assuming the circulating supply stays the same. And that would give us a market cap of around $96 to $100 billion market cap. So we need about $95 to $100 billion market cap for Polkadot to reach $100. Is this possible? Of course it is. If Ethereum was able to do this back in 2017, Polkadot could definitely do it with the caliber of project that it is. But let's go in deeper as to why Polkadot can reach that, because we can't just say it can easily get to 100 billion because Ethereum got there. The reason Ethereum was able to get there because, of course, it was a very in-demand project, but developers were building on Ethereum at a rapid rate, attracting a lot of value. And all these projects had to lock in Ethereum, the Ethereum Ether token during these periods of lockups when they were building the projects, when they were creating their ICOs. There was a lot of value that was going to Ethereum, especially because of the ICO craze. So let's look at how Polkadot could be replicating something similar. So before we leave, let's just make a quick note. The market cap of Polkadot needs to be about $95 to $100 billion for Polkadot's price to be about $100 per coin. And the circulating supply, which is important, it's not going to change too much, potentially up to 80 million dot. So the circulating supply is not going to change too much within the next 12 months or so. So now let's move over to what's happening with Polkadot and how what they're doing at the moment is similar to, there's parallels to the ICO craze and the way it attracted a lot of demand, the way it attracted developers to build on the Polkadot, on the Ethereum platform. So let's move over to Polkadot and look at what they're doing. So the next major thing that they're developing, and it's still in the works, is the enablement of the Parachain auctions. So let's look in a bit deeper as to what that means. So firstly, what is a parachain? Parachain is a part of Polkadot's infrastructure next to the relay chain and bridges to other blockchains. In other words, parachains are self-sovereign native blockchain that rely on Polkadot's relay chain for security and communication with other relay chains. Parachain slots are limited and will be auctioned off in a permissionless way rather than auction many parachain slots together. It's more likely that they will be auctioned off one by one so that there's only a single parachain auction occurring at any given time. So as it said, parachains are sovereign blockchains. Basically anyone can create a blockchain, and if they are able to get their hands on one of these slots that are limited, they can basically build a project on the Polkadot network and connect it to the Polkadot network, or build it on there, should I say. So let's delve in a little bit deeper about this auction. So as he said, parachain slots are limited and are distributed by candle auctions or governance. And this is the part that I want to make extra note of. So the winners of the parachain slots will be determined by the candle auction mechanism. In brief, in a candle auction, bidders can submit bids during the open phase. The close moment of the auction will be randomly generated and retroactively applied. The bidder with the highest amount at the closing wins. This mechanism prevents sniping, whereby bidders only put in a winning bid slightly higher than the highest bid right before the closing moment. So this auction, this whole mechanism creates a lot of demand. The fact that there's going to be many bidders, constantly trying to outbid each other, which will drive the price up, which in turn creates a lot of value. Now, this isn't exactly like the ICO craze where anyone can, do an initial coin offering. So you can have multiple ICOs. In this mechanism, it will be done potentially one by one, so a lot slower. But you can imagine, in my head, I have to visualize something to kind of relate it. And if you think about an auction, even an auction, maybe some vintage cars, for example, you have bidders, competing with each other, and there's obviously the bidding for a slot to build on the parachain, on the Polkadot network. But this auction system obviously brings a lot of attention, and it creates that process of bidding higher and higher, more value going into the project. And also it tells you that obviously it hasn't started yet, but you can already tell that there's a lot of demand for these slots. A lot of people want to build on the Polkadot network. So, I'm running parallels between the ICOs and these kind of Parachain auctions, because projects want to build on Polkadot the same way projects wanted to build on Ethereum. So it's bringing a lot of developers to the space. And this is the closest thing to somewhat of an ICO that we've got. So the next part, which is very interesting as well, and this is again why I think there's going to be a lot of value that will be brought to Polkadot because of this mechanism, this auctioning of these slots. How much will it cost to become a parachain? This process means that the cost of leasing a parachain slot will purely be a function of market supply and demand. It's difficult to give an estimate as to what the bond requirement will be. However, we know that DOT will be the asset that needs to be the bond in auction. So whatever happens, whoever gets to win the various bids, DOT is the asset that needs to be bond in the auction. Basically, DOT is essentially, in my eyes, the winner out of everything. So potentially, every time there's an auction, it could create a lot of attention. It could bring a lot of competition, and a lot of value could enter the space. So imagine there's a lot of, I think there's potentially about 100 parachains. I may be wrong, I may be way off, so don't quote me on that. But just imagine every time there's an auction, it's an event for another project to win their bid and to build on Polkadot. So this creates a lot of hype. And again, I contrast this to Ethereum with the ICO craze. A lot of these ICO craze that was happening created a lot of hype. Everyone was talking about the next ICO that was coming, the next project that was going to be built on Ethereum. This created a lot of, this sucked in a lot of value to Ethereum. And we'll move over to the charts and to look at the effect that this had on Ethereum's price. And this is what I see with Polkadot, and this is why I think there's potential for it to go to $100, for its market cap to get to 100 billion. Again, I'm making the case for this. I'm not saying this is going to happen, but there is definitely a possibility. So if we move over to the charts and look at Ethereum's price. So I'll be honest, I'm not quite sure when the ICO craze happened, but once upon a time, Ethereum was about $15 to $20. Coincidentally, the same price as Polkadot is right now. And at this level, I would not be surprised if the ICO craze started after this point. But at this level, I don't think anyone imagined. Everyone probably thought this is as far as Ethereum is going to go. No one imagined that Ethereum would get to 1,400 and that the market cap would get to 140 billion. And it's the contrast to Polkadot right now is very striking. Again, especially with the auction system, the fact that it's going to create hype, a lot of competition, a lot of attention is going to be drawn to every time there's a new auction. Who's going to build on Polkadot? Is it going to be Superstar? It's going to create a lot of attention. Same with what happened with Ethereum and the ICO craze. So at this point, no one expected it to go on the monster run all the way to 1,400. And funny enough, this started to happen in the year of the bull run, which is 2017. And in that year, it gained how much? About 22,500 %. So what was that? 200x, 213x. Absolutely insane. Now, am I saying that Polkadot could do something like that? It's very unlikely, but it's definitely the possibility that could get to $100 with the launch of their Parachain auctions. I think there's a lot of similarities between that and what was happening with the ICO craze, because it just sucked in a lot of attention into Ethereum, if it forced a lot of people to lock their Ethereum during the ICO process. So there was a lot of demand for the token, and this could definitely be the same for Polkadot because of this auction, Parachain auction that's happening. So that is the case that I've laid. I hope that makes sense. If you have any questions, let me know. And peace out.